How's it going, guys? Welcome to Fandom Fuel. My name is Mike.
My name is Crisel.
And today we have the spoiler review of Justice League. We just got back to watching it. All right, so first of all, let's give our initial reaction. What did you think of Justice League?
I like it. I really like it. I think it's better than Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
But I would say my top is still Wonder Woman.
But you liked it.
Yeah, but I like it.
My initial reaction was when we got out of the theater and I looked at Crisel and I was like, hell yeah, this was badass. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, it was not a perfect movie. It had a lot of holes and it had a lot of plot holes and it was still missing a couple of things that would have maybe not freshen up, but maybe like, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe like glued the story together a little bit more. But it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. I'm kind of with you. I like this one better than Batman vs Superman. And I like Batman vs Superman, but I thought this one was better. This one is, I think I might like this one more than Man of Steel, and I really like Man of Steel. I still think Wonder Woman is the best DCEU movie that there is, but this one was definitely, if not a second, or it would be a third for me behind Man of Steel. But I really like this movie. So let's go ahead and just kind of get started and some of the things that we really liked about it, or some of the things that stood out of the movie. Crisel, what stood out? What did you really like?
Well, I really like Aquaman.
Okay.
Aquaman. I really like Aquaman. I really like the introduction of every single character that they did. I think they introduced them very well. I love that they didn't took too long to bring them together. I know the movie was only like 2 hours and something.
Yeah. And that's including credits too.
Yeah, that's included everything. So I think that it was good. I felt that sometimes they cut scenes from the movie, but you don't feel it too much, it's really good to caught up with the story, and it's nothing like that. Even if you are not don't have any knowledge about the war or what is going to happen, they explain everything really good, so you get interested in what is happening in there. So I like it.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I thought, I think the movie could have maybe benefited from maybe another 10 minutes, but the 2 hour runtime, it didn't bug me as much as I actually thought was gonna bug me when I first heard this story that it was gonna be 2 hours. But again, I think the movie could have benefited of another 10 minutes. But I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a good step in the right direction. I think some of my favorite parts, was the team. Obviously, the team, I think, was probably the best part. I really enjoyed Flash, even though his jokes were 50-50 with me. Some of them hit, some of them did not. But I'm glad that he was the comic relief. I really enjoyed Ben Affleck as Batman. He just kills it. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, she's awesome. Henry Cavill as Superman. I actually really enjoyed this Superman. I thought that we got a better Superman.
Yes.
More of a
the power of Superman, like,
we got a real good Superman.
What he can do, all his powers and everything. Like, he can like put out a fight, like, and Superman.
I think we got a really good Superman. Yeah. Aquaman. I made me excited for his movie. Made me excited to see.
And we saw Mera too in there.
We saw Mera. Made me excited to see the world that that they're living in and stuff. Cyborg. Even though I thought Cyborg was the weakest one of the Justice League, not in terms of power or abilities, but just in terms of the way he was kind of written. I really enjoyed him. I thought Ray Fisher, I think that's his name. I think he did as good of a job as he could have done with what they gave him. And
it kind of makes sense a little bit for Cyborg, at least for me, because I think that he was confused about his powers, like what he's capable of doing. Like, he mentioned in the movie, I couldn't done this yesterday and I'm doing this right now. So he's learning, like, because in his head he said that he has this alien language in his head, and he sometimes doesn't know what that means. So he's trying, like, to figure it out what he is.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I still think for me, Cyborg was a little bit the weaker one, but I really enjoyed him. I actually looking forward to one of his movies, if they make a movie. But actually, going back to one of the rumors that we might have covered maybe early this year, I want to say, where at least we heard some of the rumors or speculations that they were considering a Flash and Cyborg team up. And I don't think they are anymore. But after watching Justice League, I was like, man, you know what? I really do wish that they would do a Flash and Cyborg team up. I think their chemistry was so cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the joke, like I just think them as a pair. You know, obviously you have the Holy Trinity in Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman. But I think that this kind of tag team of Flash and Cyborg really worked well. At least in Justice League, I really liked their chemistry together. So if it was a rumor, if it was speculation or whatever it was, I actually, now after watching Justice League, I actually wish that rumor was true, because I would love for them to team up after, you know, just kind of the way.
How many times Flash tried to pound it with him?
Yeah,
like, pound it, and the Cyborg was like,
right. No, like
just
I said,
I
thought their chemistry was really great. So again, I think my favorite part of Justice League was the Justice League. You know, I just thought the team was excellent. I love that part. Let's kind of get into some of the things that we might have seen that we liked. I want to kind of go to the beginning. You know, the where they're kind of explaining Steppenwolf. You know, where they're kind of seeing the Amazonians and then the Latnians and then like the humans and then just kind of everybody battling.
And then we saw.
And then Green Lantern. Then we see Green Lantern. I think we see Shazam. Somebody might have to correct me on that, but I swear I saw like lightning. And everything went so quick. Not
sure. They put it like this scene like so quick that the only thing you caught up like
very noticeable was Shazam. I mean, sorry. Green
Lantern. Very noticeable.
Yeah, very noticeable was Green Lantern. And I love the fact that, you know, when one of the Green Lanterns dies, the ring kind of goes away. It starts kind of going around. It just goes, and it's kind of hinting at saying somebody else might get this ring.
Yeah.
Maybe as some guy named Hal Jordan. Or John Stewart, or whatever they decide to do. But I love that little tease that kind of saying like, you know what, you know, this Green Lantern died, but the ring is out there somewhere, and it's gonna catch somebody's finger. You know, so I really enjoyed that part. I thought that actually sequence was really well done. Just to you know, actually a lot of the fighting sequences were well done. When Superman came back, you know, when he fought the Justice League, I thought that was really cool. What are some of the things that stand out? What some of the things stand out for you?
I really like that they put Batman that he's not fighting Steppenwolf because he knows he can die. You know, he's not a god like Superman, Wonder Woman, or Aquaman. You know, so they put him to battle, but he's not fighting him. So I really like that they showed that Batman was like human and he was like smart, and when he was fighting with his gadgets, you know, like with weapons. Like he
wasn't gonna go toe to toe with Steppenwolf. And I think that you're right. I think that's good writing. That's good in the writing part because Batman is not a super, I guess you can say, superhero. He's a normal person,
like a superpower person.
You know what is his superpowers? He's rich. You know, that's kind of what it is. He's just a normal flesh and blood, just like us. Actually, I really liked with Superman where they kind of went back on Batman vs Superman, and he was like, you know, do you bleed? That was really cool. I actually really thought it was a good way of putting those two stories together.
Yeah, and it was really smart that I like that they did that when they were like one-on-one fighting, like when Superman picks it up and tells him the same thing, like, do you bleed? And he didn't, he stayed quiet. He heard Lois Lane's coming, and she's like talking to him and saying, and he was just like, he stopped.
And he
Superman, he threw Batman away, like whatever. But he didn't kill him, you know?
Yeah.
So that was like really, really cool that they show like Batman can be hurt. And we saw one scene that he's going to the back and he's just taking his suit. And you can see all the bruises on his back, and he has like dislocated shoulder.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman helps him put him back, you know? So that I really like that part.
Going back, actually, after thinking about it a little bit, going back on that whole thing that you were saying where Lois Lane comes in and just kind of, I guess she kind of saves the Justice League, and I think that kind of goes back to Batman vs Superman where he has that vision where Flash tells him Lois is the key. I'm assuming that's what they kind of meant here, where Lois was the key for Superman, I guess. So I mean, Lois Lane technically saved the Justice League. No superpowers needed, but she was the key, to Clark Kent.
Girls, we have powers.
Yeah, girls have superpowers, sure.
Yeah.
But I really liked some of the tie-ins that I actually got to see from Batman vs Superman. Some of the things were completely ignored, I felt, but that's completely fine. It really did feel like a kind of like a reboot in a way, sort of. It didn't really feel like Batman vs Superman, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Batman vs Superman too, even though it was a little bit darker. I liked one of the things that I really liked about. I don't want to make this a Batman vs Superman thing, but I really liked Batman's aggression. Like, I loved the way when he was in that warehouse fighting and just like very very like Arkham Asylum-ish. We saw really cool Batman fighting here, but we didn't really see what we saw. I think I enjoyed Batman vs Superman's warehouse fight from Batman more than I enjoyed the Batman fighting here, I guess you can say. But I loved it. I still loved the Batman fighting. I still think that they have nailed this character down. But anyways, let's move on to some of the things that we maybe did not like. So do you want to go first? Or want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I think the thing that stands out probably a lot to me is the CGI for sure, and the villain, obviously. I'll start with the CGI. I think the CGI it did feel rushed. I know there was rumors, or not rumors, but I guess there was things going around where Superman, Henry Cavill, they had to edit his mustache out because so his face did, you could tell his face was weird when he was talking. You could tell when they would do close up, you could tell Henry Cavill, this was digitalized. They removed the mustache, and it's not that he couldn't shave, it's the fact that he was under contract to do a mission, I think it was Mission Impossible, and the other studio, they let WB borrow Henry Cavill to do some extra shots, but they told him he's ours now. He can't shave that mustache. So WB had to fork up the money and digitally remove the mustache. And you could tell, but that's not really what bugged me too much. I think the CGI Steppenwolf, I think you could have gone a little bit more practical on him. I think that really bugged me. I think Cyborg, you could have done a little bit more practical on Cyborg as well. I really like, I feel like he was completely CGI. So there was just, I've always been a fan of practical. So there's this, when you see too much CGI, it did bug me. And I did feel like Steppenwolf was just completely CGI. I think, they could have done practical and stuff. And some of the CGI felt, like it wasn't done, or it was kind of rushed. So that kind of bugged me. Obviously the villain, I think, Steppenwolf was not, it was a very cookie cutter villain. He's a big bad villain. He's got some the parademons. He's got his lackeys, helping him out, and he wants to take over the world. At the end, he fails. The end. But again, it's not. I don't want to blame DC or WB because it's not their fault. Marvel's been doing that for years. It's just these cookie cutter villains that just seem to pop up in every superhero film. I think the best villain that they've done, at least in the DCEU, has been the Man of Steel, General Zod. Zod. I thought that was the best villain that they've done in at least so far in the DCEU. Even better than Ares, because I think, again, even Ares I didn't really like. But again, I think it's not really a Justice League fault. Like I said, it's more of the genre fault now, where we kind of have to get used to these kind of like lame villains. It's just a superpower guy gonna take over the world, really no layers in him, and just really like a cookie cutter villain. And I guess again, that's that's a negative, but it seems to be my negative in all superhero films, just because that's kind of how it is, you know. It's Marvel. The best Marvel villain has been Loki. The best DC EU villain has been General Zod, at least to me, you know. So those are some of my negatives. What about you?
Okay, the villain didn't bother me. I wish I couldn't see more about the parademons, like the power of them. Okay. Because we saw them flying around and they fear. They fed on fear. Yeah. They fed on fear, but we didn't saw too much like about like what else they do. You know.
Oh, I got another negative too. So keep going.
It's my turn.
Yeah, no, keep going.
So the other thing, I don't know, it is my theater's fault that the one we went, or you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. We talked about this coming out of the.
It's just like I couldn't stand seeing the people's like right here.
Okay, so to kind of elaborate on hers, it's I believe it was our theater, to be honest with you. So some of the scenes that were shot, we had some of the characters kind of like this, you know, where they were talking, and then they would kind of, you know, we were like in the theater, we're like, all right, come on into frame. Oh, okay, there we go. So I didn't notice that. I believe it was our theater that they just wasn't. It wasn't, I guess, positioned correctly. Maybe I guess.
Well, let me know if that happened to you guys.
It could be. It could not have been our theater. It could be that's how they literally. I really have hard trouble believing.
Go watch it in another theater to see it.
Right, you know. So no, we could probably go watch another theater and see if that was the case. But I still believe that was our theater. I don't think that the filmmakers shot the movie like this, you know, when they were having some important dialogue. You know, I don't really think that's what happened. But so any movie negatives, not really, you know, positioning,
visualized,
not very visually negative, but any
when the CGI, you can notice CGI. Yeah, I think. And Maya is right in that part. I wish they could do more with Cyborg, a little bit more practical. It would be cool. Yeah, and like CGI look like sometimes a little bit rushed on that area.
Let me bring up another one of my negatives. It wasn't a big negative, but I kind of got bored of them, and that was that family. I freaking hated that family, to be honest with you. You know that family, that family, they're trying to say that one family, it feels like, where I feel like if they would have maybe got different shots of different people in the community or wherever that event was happening, I felt like it might have felt bigger, but I felt like they were like, oh, okay, they're just trying to save, you know, this guy's family. Like, it didn't really feel like big end of the world type of thing.
I wish they would have showed you know, at the end, the Flash saves the family,
saves that family,
and Superman go and saves more people. I would have wished they would have showed that people like that were in this building. Like,
I agree. I agree with
like
you on
a group of persons like scared, being like something, you know, not only that family. It didn't bother me the family, but it bothered me that they didn't show more of people like living in the town. Yeah, because it shows that it's just one family. Yeah, it made it seem
smaller. It made it seem smaller than what it actually should have been. I mean, this was supposed to be a world-ending catastrophe in the making. You know what I mean? It was going to destroy the Earth. So it made it just seem kind of smaller. But I actually, that part at the end where Flash does save that family, but then Superman comes in and saves a building full of families, I thought that was hilarious. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, my negatives, that's kind of about it. You want to kind of let's kind of wrap things up. So okay, final thoughts on the movie, and yeah, what did you think?
I think it was good. The story, it was okay. It wasn't like the best story ever. Right. I think they could improve a little bit of stuff in there. And the time, I didn't feel too rushed, even though that it was some cutscenes, but it was very, very entertaining. And I like the characters developed in there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the characters were my favorite part. Their chemistry. I like the fact that, you know, they weren't always just happy together. They were sometimes bickering with each other and maybe, you know, not thinking about some of the plans correctly.
Well, they argue a lot.
Yeah, arguing, maybe not really sure if this was the correct plan for them or stuff like that. But I really liked their dynamic, their chemistry together. I thought the movie in general was just a good movie. Like yes, it wasn't a perfect movie, but I left the theater and I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. You know, I really liked that movie. So I'm really happy where DCU is heading. I'm excited for Aquaman. I'm excited for Justice League 2, which they hopefully they make it. Hopefully, actually, we should probably make another video about that those end credit scenes. But I really enjoyed the movie. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you guys should go watch it. I don't think this movie is gonna be as 50-50 as Batman vs Superman. I think more people are going to like this movie. I think it's gonna be more well liked. I don't know about critics. I mean, last time we checked Rotten Tomatoes, I think it had a really, really bad score, but I really don't care. You know, I think, you know, you need to be a judge of yourself. Maybe our you know, our review sucked. You know, maybe you're like, no, I really completely disagree with these guys, and that's fine. You know, that's absolutely okay for you to disagree. If you absolutely hate this movie, that's absolutely okay. If you loved it, that's completely okay as well. So
let us know why you like it or you didn't like it.
There's no, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, go watch the movie. I enjoyed it. You know, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. But yeah, I can't wait to go watch it again, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed it. And the fact that it's actually 2 hours, it makes it even better. It makes it rewatchable.
Yeah.
You know what? It makes it rewatchable. Like yeah, it makes it rewatchable. I can go to a theater, watch it again for 2 hours, be home again, and just, you know, continue my day.
And go watch it again.
Go watch it again. So I think the 2 hours makes it rewatchable. So that's really cool. That is it for us today, guys. Thank you for joining us on our spoiler review of Justice League. Make sure you guys check out some of our other videos over there. Subscribe to our channel down there. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.